Halloween in a month, so today I'll make a Halloween dish. Use pumpkin, and I'll use this big pumpkin to make some smaller pumpkins, and they are steamed. It's a Chinese dessert, and so we need 250 grams of pumpkin. We have to clean this, remove the skin, so we could just take inside and steam it to make a pumpkin dessert for Halloween. For this dessert, we will need 40 grams of corn flour or cornstarch, 150 grams of sticky rice starch or gluten flour, and here is 50 grams of cast sugar, and we will also need 250 grams of steamed pumpkins. And for the filling, we can use chocolate, or in this case I will use my self-made red bean paste as the filling. And so let's do it. First of all, we will need to clean up our pumpkin. I'll just cut from the middle. Yellow, the color is beautiful, and we want this kind of darker and fresher color from the pumpkin in order to make a pumpkin-like dessert. And we just clean up, remove the seeds. Now we can weigh how much pumpkins we have here. So already 119. I think it's about enough. We roughly will need 250 grams of pumpkin to steam. So I'm going to steam our pumpkins with my rice cooker. You can also simply steam it with a pot or put it in the microwave. And all we want is a soft pumpkin, which we could use later to mix with some sticky rice flour. So here you can see I have a steamer for our rice cooker, and here I just laid a sheet of these kind of silicone sheets for steaming, so my pumpkin is not going to stick at the bottom of our steamer. You can also use baking paper, or some people in China use lettuce leaves or anything which could prevent our pumpkin from sticking. And here I'll just adding a bit of water in our rice cooker. Here I cut the pumpkins to smaller pieces, so it could just helping it to steam faster. Put our pumpkin in. Okay, just spread it out. Now I'm setting the function to steaming, and it's about 1 hour. It depends on your rice cooker or your pot or your microwave. The time could be different, but here we're gonna have to wait for 1 hour until our pumpkin is completely soft. Or we could also check it while it's cooking. Just make sure it's cooked through and not burned. So my pumpkins cooked for about 30 minutes. When I checked it, it's totally softened, and you can see I use chopsticks to poke them, and they're really soft. and moist, so we could just take them out. Here's the pumpkins we just cooked earlier, and you can see contain lots of water inside, so we need to remove those water with a strainer. So it's really soft. So we just use spatula to press them to remove the excessive water in our pumpkins. At the same time, we are kind of pressing them and smashing them, so they're becoming to like a paste. Okay, now we can transfer our pumpkin to a separate container. Adding our sticky rice starch or flour. Just put it all in. Our corn flour or cornstarch. The sugar. Now we're just mixing them all together at once. Once it's partially cooperated, now we could try to knead it to a dough. We're keeping kneading our dough until it's softer, it's smooth on the surface. Now we can try to separate our dough. If your dough is really sticky, you can prepare a bit of sticky rice flour at the side. It will help your dough from sticking. And we will need a scale. Okay, we're trying to cut our dough to even sizes, about 25 to 30 gram each. So just test one first. So 27 is kind of okay. Now we have our pumpkin doughs evenly separated, and we can try to form them to like a ball shape. And here is the red bean paste I made earlier. These are self-made red bean paste. This will be our filling for our pumpkins. If you don't have this, you can also use chocolate. Just take a square of chocolate and then make the same way. And now I'll try to take about 1 teaspoon. Then we're just testing it to see how it looks. And here, to flatten it, and then filling our red bean paste, and then trying to close it. Okay. After closing it, just to kind of roll it to like a ball. Now we can continue to finish the other ones. Now you can see I finished 8 of the pumpkin balls, and all the wrapping paste is sealed inside. And how do we make it look like a pumpkin? Here is a trick. You could use a toothpick and to make the mark, or I also see people using cotton, but here I use the back side of the knife. It's just easier, but you have to be really careful. So we want to make it look like a pumpkin. We're just making a mark from the middle. We're not trying to cut through it, but also we want to have a deeper mark. So when it's steamy, it's not the mark's not going away. And then we do one mark here, and then one mark here, and then here we have to do the side here. So making a pumpkin shape using the back side of our knife. Okay. And then we could also press it to make it a bit flatter. That also helps. Now you can see I cut it all my pumpkins, tiny pumpkins. And when you're forming it, you can just use 2 fingers from both sides. That helps with shaping it like a pumpkin. And here we have the body of the pumpkin, and we still need a stem. And here is you can use, like mine, use sultana, or you call it raisin. Just put it on top, so you make it a bit deeper with your finger, and then you just stuck this raisin on top. That makes the stem of our pumpkin. If you don't have sultana or raisin, you can also use, for example, some green veggies to pretend it's to make the stain of the pumpkins. For example, like cucumber, or could also be like lettuce, but you have to cut them and make them smaller, like smaller sizes, so they could fit in our pumpkins, and also looks better because they're green, the color is green, so they look more real, but they're not really edible, or they don't taste really good in our dessert. So raisin, you can just eat it once it's done, because it's kind of sweet and fits good with our pumpkin and wrapping paste, the filling. Okay. Now we're filling all our pumpkins finished, and just you can make sure they're all in place, nothing's broken. And now we can put this back into the steamer to steam it for 15 to 20 minutes, but you have to keep an eye on it. They're not too wet or they are not too burned. So let's do it. Now here I use my rice cooker to steam my little pumpkins. Here is still a bit of hot water from last time when I was steaming the pumpkins. Just put it back in and set it to steam. Okay. Now we just let the machine do the magic, and we'll check it in 15 to 20 minutes. After 15 minutes, our tiny pumpkins are all ready. You can just pick them out with the chopsticks, or actually just remove them from the steamer. getting pretty sticky from steaming. But because we use the silicone sheet, or if you use baking sheet, they're not gonna stick together. Our tiny pumpkins are ready. Let's give them a try. The filling is really sweet. And still can taste the pumpkin. It's pretty sticky because of the sticky rice. Hope you like this recipe. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up and leave your comments below. If you want to see more videos like this one, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thanks for watching and happy Halloween. See ya!